What are these people hiding? Now I have made 2 allegations here.
Yes.
And they should prove me wrong by coming up with the clean copy of the income and expenditure of Ukwuani local government between 2024 July to date. If you will not find members of his family being, placed on salary, if you will not see the monthly deduction used, in offsetting the embezzlement of former Governor Okowa, let me tell you, if they can publish this document, you will see the reflection on the 9 local government area in Delta North.
When I tell you that Delta State has been hijacked, don't doubt me. As I'm talking to you, Delta North is already in their pocket. And Ukwuani constituency is already buried. Take it to the bank and you will not withdraw. I'm telling you fact and evidence. The problem we are having today that the youth are the ones who are supporting these elders. Ndị Igbo si na okenye ada nọ n'ụlọ ewu anwụọ n'ogbiri. But it's unfortunate that the elders these days are the ones supervising to see the goats die in ogbiri. Hey! And the worst part of it is that the youth of these days are the ones supporting these elders because they are giving them 15,000 to sell their votes. Watch the next video and see what I'm talking about. How they have hijacked the system and make sure they don't give account because they are totally corrupt. That is why this morning you see the news trending that Okowa is now being called by the FCC in Lagos. Men who took 1.3 trillion of the state money, the same men are the youth supporting to go back to Senate. A man who stay 8 years in power without doing anything, tell me what the man will do for you in the next 4 years. When he has the authority and money in his beck and corn, as you know, Delta State received the highest allocation apart from Akwa Ibom State in the entire Nigeria, yet nothing to show for it. Nothing, no employment, no job that pays up to 100,000 that is state government instituted in this Delta State. The youths are busy deceiving themselves. They call Okowa roadmaster, yet there's no single road in capital of Delta State, which is Asaba. If rain fall, everywhere is messed. Last week, water nearly carried some people car and people, even human beings on the road because of no drainage. Yet, after 8 years, another man entered at the same road where they do since 1999, where Ibori dey for government, now they see they do for Delta State. When would they ever give you steady light? When would they ever give you people industry to have a job? They are busy sitting down on your money, but because of what they will give you in election day, you are shouting strategies, master. See, before you will realize what is happening, until most of you start seeing your son as talking meat, when economy go down hard, you start seeing your children as meat, that is when your eye will be open. I'm out of here, Joe.
Asks where public money went and gets suspended for it. Victor Chukwuemeke, a councillor representing Ward 19, Eziono Kingdom in Ukwuani local government, Delta State, took the local government to court, demanding transparency. That the treasurer failed to publish income and expenditure for 18 months. On May 12th, the court delivered a landmark judgment. It ordered the treasurer to publish monthly revenue and expenditure from July 2024 to date. It also ordered the chairman to provide the monthly wage bill and 2025 budget performance index. The court also restrained the council from implementing the 2026 budget until the records are rendered and debated by the Legislative House. Chukwuemeke was suspended for going to court and has now filed a notice of consequence of disobedience against the council. What does this mean for local government accountability in Nigeria, especially in the face of growing clamor for total autonomy for the third tier of government? We will examine that question now on today's edition of The Morning Show. Victor Chukwuemeke, The councillor who is at the center of this transparency battle joins us now for a conversation. Good morning, Victor.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I mean, you're the man in the news now, isn't it? You know, for challenging the status quo.
Yes.
You've been suspended twice.
Yes.
You went to court.
Yes.
You got a judgment.
Yes.
I won't say necessarily in your favor, but in favor of transparency and accountability.
Yes.
Where are we? Have they complied with what you're asking for? And what are the issues, frankly speaking?
Well, the issue, good morning, Nigerians. And let me be specific, good morning to the people of Ukwuani local government area of Delta State. As a matter of fact, the judgment, as earlier described by legal expert, is that it was such that was described as a landmark judgment, because that happens to be the first of its kind in the history of local administration in Nigeria. I do not think that a councillor sitting or any Nigerian has actually taken the council to court to demand for financial details vis-a-vis the income and expenditure of council. And that is why legal experts described it as landmark. Now, it was a whole lot of drama when we filed this application. In fact, we said in the month of January, when we filed, that we do not want the council chairman, that's the executive arm of government, to present the 2026 budget until it complies by publishing the income and expenditure, which is just a standard. It's not my making. That is legal. That is just the law. And when I talk about the law, when I say I'm talking about the Delta State Local Government Establishment Law, 2017 as amended.
It requires a chairman to publish the monthly record, financial records.
The chairman and the treasurer of council, particularly treasurer of council, is to do so on monthly basis. It is not discretionary. It is ministerial. So whereby it has been a doctrine in the local government that no, they don't do that here. The chairman is more or less like, was installed or usually installed by the man at the end of affair at the state level. And whatever directive the council chairman gives to the council, it becomes yes and amen. You don't question it. And I said, no. Governance has been structured in a way that we in the legislative arm, we are expected to question and perform oversight function on the executive arm of government, whereby we've been reduced to salary earners. It means the aim has been defeated ab initio. And I said no. So each time there's an attempt to move a motion in the floor of the house, they will tell me you are fighting the council chairman. You are fighting the government. In fact, the chairman will go and meet probably your leader.
Your political leader.
Your political leader. And report you. So that is why you can see that in this struggle, I'm alone. Because the 19 others in the in the legislative arm, they are
other councillors.
They are complying ipsissima verba to the directives, to the whips and caprices of their various leaders. Not that I'm being disrespectful to my leader, but because I say let us at least as councillors do our job. I think that is where I was taxed disrespectful. But to me, loyalty should be to the people. It should be to the people. I'm not trying to say anybody should disrespect his or our leader, but our first obligation should be to the people. Our mandate should be to defend the people of Ukwuani local government. The funds that are coming in must be judiciously put into use, while we in the legislative arm, we are there to serve as watchdog to the executive. Now, if I want to move a motion, not just me, much as every other person cannot come live to say they've made an attempt because of the nature of what they call system. Now, each time there was an attempt to do this, they will say, no, we don't do that here. In fact, there are sometimes they will come up with outstanding other rules and tell you that they must follow procedures. But I'm also being guided. The local government legislative arm isn't my first place of experience in working in the legislative arm. I've worked in the National Assembly. There's a little bit sanity in the National Assembly.
You worked at the National Assembly?
Yes, in the seventh National Assembly. I worked as an aide to a member of House of Representatives.
Okay.
And I should be able to also bring
some understanding.
Yes, I should be able to bring some of these experiences to bear.
Okay.
So, in most cases, when we come up with this idea, particularly myself, they tell the chairman that he has come again. He wants to fight the government. Do you know that the Delta State Local Government Establishment Law say that we must have our legislative plenary session twice in a week? But because of this issue of accountability, sometimes we sit twice in a month. Sometimes once in a month. Do you know that in most cases they don't even sit at all? So the councillors earn money for doing nothing.
But is that the situation even while you were away on suspension?
Yes.
Because you've been suspended twice.
Yes.
While you were away on suspension, were they also not meeting? Because if you were the problem...
In fact, when I left, it was as if God has answered their prayers. Oh, the man that is always giving us issues, for months, they don't even go to work. That is not... Now, each time we want to move this motion, there's always a problem. At some point, I became a target. For reasons best known to them, because I know, having served as an aide in the National Assembly, I should ordinarily know when to and when not to, concerning the outstanding order. Now, at the end of the day, sometimes they will adjourn sitting indefinitely, just because a councillor wants to move a motion to demand for income and expenditure. When they suspended me for the first time, of course, I wrote an open letter to the governor. They went back and reviewed the suspension to become indefinite without pay. I went into, several issues, wrote petitions to the EFCC to investigate the council, because if there is nothing they are hiding, they won't be doing that.
And at what point did you decide to go to court? Or what point did you decide, what was the turning point, essentially?
Sometimes in the month of August, I was recalled, so I resumed. Then I told them, I said, this thing is statutory. We must know, that is why we are here. They went back to drawing board and say, it's still on that issue. They suspended me. In fact, the very day I resumed during my first suspension, I was ambushed. I was almost abducted by the police. I want to be specific.
You were sure it was the police?
I said I was almost adopted by the police because because they didn't plan it well. In fact, it was planned. It was a directive by the finance commissioner, Sir Fidelis Okemotilije.
Okay, well, that's an allegation you are.
You see, you are asking, am I very sure?
Yes.
That they were police? Yes. By the time, because they didn't plan it well, those people that were supposed to perfect the job, they were supposed to have left the premises, but they waited. So by the time they saw one of their colleagues being harassed, they have to intervene, and we went to the police. That is by the way. Now, at the end of the day, they went ahead and they called me and said, if you will not desist from this act of trying to know about the finances of the council, we'll deal with you. I said, you can't deal with me. The same way you were elected as the leader of the house. That's because at the local government, you call the speaker, you call them leader. Okay. The same way you were elected to represent your people, that is the same way I was elected. I am not representing your constituency. That's your ward. I'm representing my ward, and I must do my job because there is no visible infrastructure from the local government in my constituency. So for that reason, I must ask where these monies are being channeled to. Then they said, okay, let us see what will happen. They went ahead. They told me that if I try anything again, they will suspend me. So after several attempts again to demand for this document, they adjourned indefinitely. Then I went to court in the month of December. I think the matter was finally filed in January. Then it was simple. because as at that time they've not presented the 2026 budget. So our prayer was that the executive chairman and his agents should not present the 2026 budget until they publish the income and expenditure. Two, the legislative arm.
The chairman is Solomon Ejide.
Ajede, yes, Solomon Chiamaka Ajede. Then we also prayed before the court that the legislative arm shouldn't receive the budget. That the court should restrain them.
These were your prayers.
These were our prayers.
Yeah.
It was simple. Then they filed a 44-paragraph affidavit in response to our application. And in fact, they said that the court do not have jurisdiction. They cited so many cases, Supreme Court cases, that the court did not. But the court granted, in the first ruling, the court granted our prayers. Ordinarily, when a matter is before the court, parties are ordinarily expected to maintain status quo. But they went ahead and presented the budget.
That's the ENOMA, the budget that was tagged ENOMA.
The budget that was tagged ENOMA.
ENOMA. What does that mean?
ENOMA means good life. Much as there is no good life, we can't say any good life from whatever they are doing with the money that is coming. Because now, at the end of the day, we continued. Fast forward to May 12th, 2026. A landmark judgment was given. And the judgment was straightforward. The court ruled that there shouldn't be execution of the 2026 budget until the income and expenditure from July 2024 to date is published, made public, and declared. These are the three key words from the court, from the judgment. Then, that the council chairman should also go to the legislative arm and present the wage bill of council and the performance index of the 2025 budget. Now I think they might have also did some underground work. And the next thing we saw on the social media was a news that the chairman had gone to present the wage bill of council to the legislative arm and the performance index in compliance with the judgment. The second thing he did was to export some doctored documents. Exported it to the computer, writing it in a way that you cannot even read one letter or a word from that document. Please, I've sent it to you. Can put it up for people to see. You can't say this is one or two from that document. And then they went ahead and filed another motion, more or less like a continuation of the matter. They filed a motion to tell the court they've complied with the judgment. As at that point, politics now waded in, which I would like to describe as the voice of Jacob and the hand of Esau. Then we also responded.
Who's the Jacob? Yeah.
Well,
where's the finger pointing?
When we get to that point, I will explain better. Okay. Now, we went ahead and we responded to that motion, and we told the court that there was no compliance in any form. And we told the court that if they were to be compliant, they must have exhibited the document here. A one-page photograph of a billboard does not represent compliance. The people want to see the figures of what they got and how it's been expended. That is what the people want to see. Ukwuani people home and abroad, they call and say, we've not seen anything. I say, you should reach out to the council to do so. Now, the same court that delivered that landmark judgment made a U-turn and became the mouthpiece of the respondents, which is the council chairman, the treasurer, and the legislative arm.
The same court.
The same court became the mouthpiece of the respondents.
Did the court overturn itself?
Now the court now sat on appeal.
Okay.
And vacated its own verdict, which is just basic and elementary knowledge in jurisprudence, which you call, functus official doctrine. in the in jurisprudence. A court do not have the legal, it doesn't have the jurisdiction to entertain a matter or to revisit a matter that a final judgment has been given.
By the same court.
By the same court. It's just elementary knowledge in jurisprudence. So, when we saw this, people called me and say, have you seen, I've said that, of course, but we are waiting to receive the certified true copy of the ruling. Of course, we've gotten the details in court. Then on Friday here, we got the CTC. Of course, the court vacated its own judgment. Now, what we should worry about in this issue is the implication of what the court has done. What is the exact message they are sending to? Do you know why Nigerians don't like going to court? Because there's already a conclusion that you cannot get justice. Now, I didn't go to court that I was suspended and I want to be reinstated. You
didn't challenge the suspension?
I've not done that yet.
Okay.
I didn't go to court to claim any damages. I didn't go to court to say they should pay me my arrears. I went to court to demand for public duty, which is just very fundamental in our laws. Where these people are driving their aspirations, the court, the judiciary, is something that should baffle and should become source of worry to Nigerians. Because if we continue in this order, the country will collapse to a point whereby nobody will be interested. When you just hear about court, it's fine. It's better you even go one-on-one with the person than saying that I want to go to court.
But Victor, what many in Delta State, particularly in your local government, including some of your colleague councillors, are saying is that some of the information that you are asking for are already in the public domain and that you have access to them. What is it that you are looking for that you needed the court to compel the local government to release? What was the size of the budget for 2026 that has not been implemented? I know that there's a 7 billion component from the Delta State government, 3 billion for road expansion, 4 billion into education and to health. But what is the actual size of the entire budget? What was the size of the budget of 2025 before you got suspended in August?
The budget for 2025 was 13.1 billion.
13.1
I think 13.1 billion. And then the 2026 budget, I was on suspension when they presented that, but I'm aware it's about 7 billion.
7 billion?
Yes. But do you know that today, Ukwuani local government gets between 450 to 500 million naira on monthly basis? Which means the local government can boast of 1 billion naira or over 1 billion naira in 3 months. And the situation of infrastructure in the local government has worsened. You can't point out in my constituency that this is one infrastructure, even with this so much money.
What is the ratio of capital component of the budget to personnel things? And of course, you also draw your salaries from that budget. What is the size of the capital?
What you call wage bill? Wage bill is the total amount used in paying salaries on monthly basis, about 155 million. On monthly basis. So if you are getting 450, 500 million, then you have more than enough for infrastructural development.
And there's nothing to show.
There's nothing to show. You see, before I came into your studio, I've been cautioned to be mindful of what I say, because they say your manager, the owner of your company, has very good and cordial relationship with the Delta State government. I've been cautioned.
You won't be here if that were to be a problem.
I'm just telling that it took us a long time for me to get here.
You are here eventually.
I'm here eventually. So for that reason, I want to tell you that the issue on ground is issue of compliance.
Okay.
They've not complied with the judgment. And the judge in question have sat on appeal. The judge in question, you see, he did the right. What he did by delivering that landmark judgment, he delivered that judgment in good faith. He delivered that judgment in the interest of justice. But when that interference scheme, allegedly. He had no, if I were to be that judge, I would not vacate the order that have been made in good faith.
The interference you're referring to is an allegation because we
It's
can't
an allegation.
prove it.
Well,
we can't prove it.
Well, that's why at this point I will now say that's why I say it is the hand of Esau and the voice of Jacob. That ruling represents, of course, clear hand of Esau and the voice of hand of Esau and the voice of Jacob. As a matter of fact, now
Esau being who now?
Of course, state actors.
Okay. At the state level.
At the state level.
Okay.
Then people call me to say, what is difficult in the council chairman making public the income and expenditure on monthly basis? Once money drops into the local government, we are still operating. I think they're still operating joint account.
Jack.
But in Lagos, because I was part of a delegation that went for an oversight, just some persons called me and said, be part of us at Etios local government. Yeah. And they told us that they pay directly from federal.
But that's actually the situation now.
But the local government chairman will always tell you in Ukwuani that they are still operating Jack. And on monthly basis, when this money drop, part of it is being taken to offset the embezzlement the former governor, Okowa.
Allegedly.
If you want to put the word allegedly, it's okay. Allegedly. And having taken such part of the money that comes on monthly basis, the leftover, the council chairman will now sit on it and say, of course, is now under the cover of the state. Nothing will happen. For that reason, from what is left, he pays salary to members of his family that are not
have verifiable proof.
Listen. This I'm telling you reasons why they cannot publish the income and expenditure. I'm telling you reasons why they cannot bring this document to the public. He pays members of his family from the leftover, buy properties. That is it. That is the document.
Yeah.
This document you are seeing.
What does it say? Because
what is it saying? Can you read anything from this? This is what they call compliance. This is what they are telling Ukwuani people that they've complied. You can see the level of fraud in what they are doing.
And can I ask how you got this document?
This document was what they exhibited as part of compliance. To the court ruling. To the court ruling. To their motion.
Essentially saying that they have done
that they've complied.
Which means what?
That they've complied by publishing the income and expenditure from 2024. Okay, how can one page photograph represent a document that we speak of, income and expenditure from July 2024 to the date of judgment? One page document. That document you are saying.
Is there a website or a social media account of the local government that this could have been,
The local government operates an official account on Facebook.
Okay.
Where all details of the local government are being published. But you can't find this there. So that obviously there are a lot that they are, that are hiding under whatever guise they call it. Now,
let me ask you
the major concern.
Okay, go on.
The major concern should be, or the question that should bother us the more, what are these people hiding? Now I have made 2 allegations here, and they should prove me wrong by coming up with the clean copy of the income and expenditure of Ukwuani local government between 2024 July to date. If you will not find members of his family being, placed on salary, if you will not see the monthly deduction used, in offsetting the embezzlement of former Governor Okowa, let me tell you, if they can publish this document, you will see the reflection on the 9 local government area in Delta North.
2 questions. One is what's his name? Solomon Ajede, the chairman.
Yes.
Is he a lawyer?
He's a lawyer. Unfortunately, he's a lawyer.
Okay, well, he's a lawyer.
Unfortunately, he's a lawyer.
Okay, did you...
Who should understand better the implication of his actions?
Did you try to, because you became a councillor in 2024?
Yes.
And I want to, hazard a guess that you didn't go in with an activist mindset. Did you try to look for a political sort of, to say, this is what the law says, this is what we are required to do? Mr. Chairman, I think that this is how we should progress before things descended to...
So let me tell you, when we resumed plenary, I used to go with a copy of my constitution. I go with a copy of my Delta State Local Government Establishment Law book. I go with 5. But I became a laughing stock. And they say, they don't do this here. This place, you don't have a job. Just go home, earn your salary. That is the standard. So we've exhausted those internal mechanisms, but those internal mechanisms failed. And the best place I can, as a matter of fact, approach is the court. And the court haven't given such judgment. I have expected that the judge himself will stand, to make sure that the implementation or the compliance of that judgment is carried to the letter.
Are you saying categorically that between 2024 and now, the local government chairman and the treasurer will have no single project to point at?
You see, there is no government, as a matter of fact, all over the country that you will meet, whether state, whether federal or local government, that will not point out at one thing that they've done. It's not possible. Definitely, there must be one or two, to cover up whatever.
So you know a few things that they have done.
The things that were done, yes, I'm aware that of all the amount that have gotten to the local government so far, few town halls were built. Town hall is just an empty space. It's just a fenced space.
Okay.
It doesn't consume much. Then I'm aware that it's also building, a chapel, a church. Within the council, in the council, is also building a town hall, an event center, also within the local government. These are just merely fenced. There's nothing specific.
How much support have you gotten from people generally in this, your whole experience, just from citizens?
Yes, the people of Ukwuani, not just my local government at this point, the people of Ukwuani, Okowa federal constituency, at the level of the federal constituency, when they saw what I was doing, they gave me huge support. In fact, I contested for House of Representatives in this just concluded election.
On which platform?
Of course, under the platform of the APC. I contested. Where will you expect a councillor that was suspended, no salary, to have raised such amount of money to prosecute such election? The people of Ukwuani federal constituency supported me so immensely to make sure, because they said, no, we are really impressed with what you are doing. Even out of 20 councillors, you decide to distinguish yourself.